All right, we're here for show number 5. Thanks for joining us here on the TD Report. I'm your host, David Combs. I'm here with TD Kennedy.
What's up, folks?
Guys, this is my favorite show of the year. Probably Tony's favorite show of the year. Why is that, Tony?
Oh, baby. You know what it is? It's UVA Virginia Tech week. You know how we gonna do it now. We gonna blow it up. We gonna blow it up now, baby.
Listen up. I've got a shout out to all my UVA fans, all my Wahoos, Fluvanna County. What's up? Talk to me. Albemarle, Virginia, Richmond, the cities, the 757. My people in the cities. Yeah.
Christiansburg, Burke, Norton. All the folks over in Virginia, baby. Y'all know how we do this.
All my Giles County people. There's some Wahoos down there, too. Troutville. All my people at Lord Botetourt High School.
Whoa,
the Tyler brothers, Gene and Elton, my boys.
Whoa.
Those are my dudes right there.
He went down. Let me go down to Bluefield in the Nook, baby. Franklin County, Martinsville, Danville. Y'all know how we do it.
Oh, well, wait a minute.
Y'all know how we do it now.
You just said the word. You said the M word. You said Martinsville.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't say Martinsville without saying Shawn Moore. Going to be a guest on the show tonight. We're excited. Herman Moore, we got to show you some love. GW Danville.
Oh, yeah, baby, G-Dub.
GW Danville. And listen, all fairness aside, I want to be honest. I am related to a Hokie. Don't laugh. David Wilson is my cousin through my wife. My former wife. David Wilson is my cousin. That's the GW Danville connection. He went to Tech, but he got love for the UVA people because he knows that I'm fam, so it's all good.
It's all good.
That's the one thing about these rivalries in college, Tony, especially Virginia Tech. It is literally cousin against cousin, brother against brother. Mm-hmm. The dude that you played high school ball with, or the dude from cross town that you used to go up against, he could end up being your teammate.
Yes, he can. My family, the Kennedy family, we're from Charlottesville. So
you should have gone to UVA, Tony.
You should
have gone to UVA, Tony.
Charlottesville, Earlyville, Ruckersville. What's up? The Kennedys, the Carrs, the Jeffersons, the Whites. Y'all know how we do it, baby. That's my family.
Hey.
All my family's from down there in the Ville. But you know I didn't want to go there. I had to represent. I had to represent my boys in Blacksburg. Hey. This is how we do it. You see it? You see this?
I got my colors on too, y'all. So
this is how we do it this week.
This is my UVA flag up here. We fly this every year. Virginia Tech game. Even though I live in Maryland, people make fun of me. They're like, "How could you go to a school like Virginia?" I'll be honest with you. Virginia would come up to Maryland, to the DC area, and come and get the very best kids they could get. But that's college football.
That's college football.
That's college all the way around, right?
All the way around, baby.
Very excited to bring, Shawn to you. Shawn Moore, former UVA All-ACC quarterback, 4th in the Heisman. Heck of a ball player. Heck of a great guy. He's going to call in later. Tony is working on getting us some Hokies on here. Is there a shot we're going to get Logan on? Can we get Logan Thomas?
We're going to try. We're still trying to go after Logan, trying to get my man on here because they represent the quarterback. So we might have to go ahead and represent the quarterback. But we got my man Doc Walker coming on here later on tonight. We got Shawn Moore. Man, look, it's DMV. It's UVA, Virginia Tech week. Man, what more can you want around this joint? You got the Washington football team winning. You got the Ravens winning. Come on now, folks. This is our time of year.
It is. It truly is. Now, with COVID being what it was, this game was supposed to be played early in the season. Now, Tony, having been part of the rivalry, he can tell us more about it. Before we get to the NFL, I do want to bring this in. We normally play this game the weekend before Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Right before we break to go back.
Yeah, right before, and sometimes it comes later. Depends on when Thanksgiving falls. A tradition, and
But being around Thanksgiving makes it special because to me as a student, if I was coming back to the DC area and I had Virginia Tech friends, if we had lost to Tech, they're talking mad stuff. But if my team wins, we talking mad stuff too. It's bragging rights, right?
There's always bragging rights, baby. There's always bragging rights.
Okay.
And my man, hey, what's up, Mason? Hey, man, you do a good job, baby. You get that Rain Man. I thought I was the Black Rain Man. But my man be kicking it. Hey, I'm going to tell you, Mr. Mason, you be doing it, boy.
Dev
and
Mason,
I love you, man.
Friend of the show. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Buddy, I love your work.
Appreciate you, man.
Baby, you be doing it. Hey, you know how we do, baby. Just keep it moving. You say the things that I like to say, but I just don't want to say them. But you're good, baby. Keep it rolling.
All right. Let's talk about the NFL slate, Tony, as we shift gears. Folks, we're going to take you right up into the first quarter of the game tonight. Patriots-Rams, right on our screen right here. We've got Cam Newton warming up. But what do you think about Patriots-Rams tonight?
Man,
this is a bit more of an important game than I thought it was going to be.
It's something about that daggone Patriots team this time of year.
Okay.
When we get in that December, January, that man right there, Bill Belichick, from Annapolis, Maryland.
I'm not going to bet against him.
One of the best of all time.
He's a pure coach.
He's a coach. He coached like it's still rec ball. He'll take a wide receiver and put him at corner. You see how he changed his game when he got Cam Newton out there. He's still doing the thing. Hey, man, we just going to street ball it, and you got to beat us, baby. You see they won last week, what, 59, 39?
Yep.
Something, nothing. Hey, man, y'all better watch out for them Pats. You don't want to see them in the playoffs.
No,
that's a tough out.
It's going to be interesting to see how they progress. Right now, I think what we want to do also is just remind our folks, we've got some fantasy people that have been hitting me up today. We are going to have Cody Bennett on the show.
With the Bennett Breakdown?
He's going to call in. Cody has an open line to the show.
Yes,
whenever
sir.
Cody wants to get on the show, he's on the show. But fantasy people, please stick with us. We are going to get you your fantasy fix. We're going to get your lineup set for Sunday.
Yep.
So let's talk about that. Dallas at Cincinnati, 1 p.m. game on Fox. Dallas got flexed. That's not good. Dallas at Cincinnati. What can Dallas do now but lose the rest?
Listen, it's about that third pick now.
Can they get up to 3? I don't think so. It's like spades. They trying to get rid of sandbags. They trying to throw off every loss they can.
Jets, Jaguars, Cowboys.
Dallas needs to lose the rest.
Man, well, who they gonna take? Can they use that pick to get a GM too?
Oh, well, this is the NFL. You can't trade for a GM.
I mean,
but is Jerry going to fire him? Jerry is not going to fire himself.
Well, Jerry need to do something.
Jerry is going to be like Charlton Heston, from my cold dead hands. That's what he's going to do. That's just what he's going to do.
Just like this song, move on up. He need to move on out.
Oh, wow. Jerry, listen to us, fam. You got to go, bruh.
Got to go.
All right. Next game on my slate. Arizona at the New York Football Giants. Shout out to our boy Melvin Bossman Robinson.
The
G-Man. Now, this is going to be an interesting game. Because you let Kyler Murray get out of that backfield, it's like you done let a cat loose. You ain't going to catch him.
Kyler Murray done. You ain't beating them boys.
Okay.
Hey, it's going to be up in New York.
That's a New York.
That swirling wind up in there. And that big blue line coming.
All
Dog, right. It feels like the old 80s. The Giants play gritty, old school NFC East football. That's what the Giants are.
Let's get Madden and Summerall on the call for that. If we could just do that again. That'd be something else, right?
Up in there with that. Yeah. Man, Lord have mercy. They take me back by the way they play ball. I like that, the NFC East old style ball. That's who you are, Giants. Be who you are, and you'll be in the playoffs.
I'm going to save the best for last, but let's talk about Pittsburgh at Buffalo. Big game for Buffalo here. They could really establish themselves as a true player in the AFC playoff picture. They're in the playoffs if the season ended today. They've had a great year, but this would be a great statement game to bring Pittsburgh up to their place and drop another loss on them.
This may be a playoff preview.
Could be a playoff preview.
So I listen. Pittsburgh has been so bad. But it's hard to say when they have 3 games in 12 days. And
but they didn't make plays against the WFT. The WFT made plays.
Well, WFT did make plays.
I did see the tape. I saw the tape. Chase Young and Ben Roethlisberger before the game. Ben said, "Hey, look, man, take it easy on me. I'm old." And then later that day, he hit him after a throw, and he said, "I ain't hit you because I love you." Chase is fooling around with these guys now. He's really feeling himself. But Pittsburgh wants to win that game to get back in the win column
to
reestablish themselves.
They better trying to get that double bye.
They got to get the double bye.
That bye for that one seed. That AFC playoff is going to be a beast this year. I don't need to be in that first game. And the way KC is playing right now, Pittsburgh, you need to keep winning, folks.
Pittsburgh Buffalo. That's going to be an 8:20 kick on NBC for those of you guys tuning in at home. Now let's talk about this other one. I'm going to show this one to Tony. This is the Monday night game. Ravens at the Browns. Browns 9-3, coming off a big win over the Titans, a convincing win. They handled the Titans. They were up 2-3. They were up 3 touchdowns.
Hey, folks, the Browns do something that people, when you're trying to win in the playoffs, they got 2 running backs that are up in the league leader in rushing, and they play great defense. I am telling you, that Brown team, it's 2020, folks. Anything can happen. That Brown team is dangerous also. But they playing against my Super Bowl pick, which is the Ravens.
At 7-5, this is essentially another elimination game.
It is elimination games, dog. And right now, I got to stick with my Ravens. I got to stick with my pick. Because, hey, man, like they say, never underestimate the heart of a champion. They got people on there, their coaches, the head coach. He's won before. He knows how to win during this time of year. Cleveland ain't been there. So I don't think they know how to win.
They've won 9 out of 12, Tony. They're doing something right.
That's regular season in the Rona season.
Okay.
Hey, man, that's regular Rona.
I'm starting to get Baker Mayfield looked really sharp in that last game. He looked real sharp against the Titans.
We about to find out with Baker. We about to find out if he worth all them commercials.
Okay. We'll see about that. Guys, that's the Monday night game. Baltimore at Cleveland. Baltimore coming in at 7-5. Cleveland at a nice crispy 9-3. Looking real good. I'll be honest with you. I didn't expect Cleveland to look this good. I expected right now with 12 games into the season, I was expecting Cleveland to be at about 7-5 and Baltimore to be at 9-3. Definite reversal of fortunes.
Definitely reversal of fortunes.
The season has not gone the way that the Ravens had thought it would go. Obviously, our Ravens fans here in the D.C. metro area are disappointed. But playing against the Cowboys, I mean, that's like chicken soup.
Hey, man.
They got well, didn't they?
They got very well. hey.
Dallas just looked. It was embarrassing. What was the total for rushing? I think Baltimore put 290 yards worth of rushing on Dallas.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it started to get ugly, folks. And when
it got ugly early.
And when the tackle came out to the camera and said easy money,
ooh,
that was
that's an indictment.
That's pretty bad right there, folks. So, hey, them Cowboys, hey, I think they done. But, we still got to cover them because they my team. And I got to stay with them.
Tony stays loyal.
I stay loyal. They my team, folks.
Let's talk about what everyone's here to talk to us about. The WFT, the Fightin' Dan Snyders, go to San Francisco. That's a 4:25 game on Fox. Big game for the WFT.
The WFT, if Mullins is playing quarterback, it ain't going to be close.
Really?
The WFT going to go out there and whip them. Hey, man, I'm not a WFT fan, but them boys get after you on defense. And Alex Smith is a great story. Comeback player of the year.
Great story, yeah.
He is a great game manager. He's perfect for what they're doing right now. Don't turn it over. Let that defensive line get to you. And those boys get after you. You got to watch that WFT. They're going to be a problem if the Giants slip up. WFT will get up in there and wreck some house because now they don't have a great running game, but they use the short passing game as their running game.
That's the running
which
game.
Is very, very smart. Scott Turner, hey, brother, I coach with you at South County. You my man. Keep balling. Just don't ball 2 games a year against the Cowboys, man.
No, that ain't going to happen. The WFT, suddenly are in a situation where they're playing this game that we looked at 3 weeks ago, and we thought, wow, having to go out to San Francisco is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
But defense travels.
Defense travels.
And WFT right now is a top 5 defense and looking stronger. Looking stronger, looking smarter. Jack Del Rio's done a great job working with them. Former Cowboy, of course. He's done a good job with that defense in a very short time. Yeah. Ron Rivera, Riverboat Ron, just doing riverboat run things.
Yes, I like the WFT in that game.
You like the WFT. That's going to be a Fox game, 425. So mid-afternoon game, 425 kickoff. I want to talk about another game, and I didn't tell Tony we were going to talk about it, but Tony is a savant. I can throw anything at Tony, and a lot of times on the show, I haven't given him the information that he needs because it's something I picked up. Game that I saw in here that was hiding in the weeds, New Orleans at Philadelphia, 425 game.
Jalen Hurts. Hey, props to that guy right there. He's made the most improvement in a quarterback that you've ever seen.
That's going to be his first start.
His first start. His first start, and it's
number one defense in the league.
Hey,
New Orleans.
Props to Jalen Hurts. Love that brother. Hey, we about to walk him on Shawn Moore right now.
All right, here we go. We're going to shift gears, folks.
Hey, Shawn, you there, baby? You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How you doing?
Good, brother. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we're great. Hey, Shawn Moore, my man from UVA. This is Dave Combs here talking to you. Let's talk a little bit about this rivalry. Tony and I in the open, we're talking about how this game means a lot because this is brother against brother, cousin against cousin, a dude you might have gone to school with. Did we lose him?
We lost him.
We lost him. We're gonna get.
Oh, we got him
back.
We got him back. Hey, man, that's COVID. We got you. Go ahead.
We got you back, Shawn. Shawn, this game is brother against brother, neighborhood foe becomes your teammate. It's a great rivalry. Talk about being a part of it, and we're also going to talk about your special part in the rivalry. Tell us about Virginia Tech and playing against them, being a cat from Martinsville.
So, quite honestly, the rivalry picked up over the course of probably the 2000 on. But, if you start looking at the game in the 80s and 90s when we played, it was like, you're playing against your boys because we were all recruited by both schools. A lot of us, were high school classmates. So, for me to play against, Virginia Tech, it was like, hey, man, I'm going up. I gotta perform because I'm playing against my boys. I'm playing against, the crib. Everybody at the crib is watching. So, it's intensified over the years. I would definitely say that. But it's always, man, it's always fun. If the Who's, there's so much hate in between the rivalry now. But like, if the Who's aren't playing, I pull for the Hokies. I'm a true Virginia guy, so I'm always pulling for the Virginia schools. If the Hokies are playing Miami, I'm pulling for the Hokies, man. I want them to get the big win.
I can dig that. I can dig it. Now, I'm an out-of-stater, Shawn, so I'm from the state of Maryland, as Tony is. So I grew up as a Terps fan, watching football, the Bobby Ross days. But then my first year at UVA, getting a chance to see a Virginia Tech game, we played at Scott Stadium. It was an incredible experience for me. I remember my mom had come to hang out right before Parents Weekend, and she said, "I didn't realize this was a football school." And I said, "Me either." It was a great surprise.
Yeah, man. Hey, well, you know what? You were there during the heyday, man. It was things were popping back then. And,
were they?
It's funny now. You see a noon game, and the administration and the coaches go crazy because they know the students are going to get up for a noon game. And we had a 1 o'clock game back in the day, dog. Everyone was there. The student section was in full effect. So,
were we?
It's very different now, man. Very different.
We didn't have the internet back then, so the 6 against Joe Pa and all them guys, Blair Thomas, you and Herman Moore hooked up for a couple of touchdowns, 14 points on the road, and you guys the defense made it stick.
Well, that was a big year for us, man. We were coming off, that was 89. That was our first ACC championship. And so coming off that first game loss to the eventual national champion, Notre Dame fighting Irish, man, it was tough. But we knew we couldn't go to Penn State and not be prepared to play. So that Penn State game really set the tone for that 89 season because we ended up winning 10 games that year, winning the ACC championship. So Penn State was just, they were one of the first foes in our way in terms of, getting to our goal.
That was a fun time, from a fan standpoint. But going to a school like Virginia, which you can see Shawn Moore walking down near the BBS, or Herman Moore down in the dining halls. What's up, Big Herm? What's up? it was really cool because, you guys were always just around us, going to the Newcomb Hall parties, and every now and then I would see a couple of Hokies slide in there to some of our UVA parties, on the sneak. They didn't have the parties like we did.
Exactly. Not just Hokies, but, Tar Heels, Blue Devils, James Madison.
James Madison,
we had
that's
it going
right.
on back in the day, man. I mean, everyone wanted to be part of what was going on there. It's unique because, football had taken the turn and basketball was still good. We were going to Sweet 16s back in the day. So
Brian Stiff.
it was a very unique time.
My man from Brunswick.
It's funny now, everyone assumes Virginia is a basketball school because of the national championship. But, hey, man, where I'm from, football always pays the bills. So football will always be the big dog on campus, no matter where you are. Unless you're at Duke or UConn.
True that. It's going to be interesting to see this particular matchup. COVID situation being what it is, and I'll reset I'll reset it for everyone else. But Shawn, these are numbers: all-time series 58-38 with 5 ties. Longest streak is 15 in a row by Virginia Tech. This rivalry is characterized by 2 Hall of Fame coaches. Shawn, that you brought up, George Welsh and Frank Beamer, both Hall of Fame coaches. Rest in peace, Coach Welsh. 2 great comebacks in the rivalry. 1995, UVA blows a 15-point second-half lead. Mike Rowe throws a pick 6 at the end to give Hokies a W in Charlottesville. 1998, in Blacksburg, Tech goes up 17-0 and 29-7 at half. UVA explodes for 29 second-half points to win 36-32. Some great plays on defense by my man Byron Threet, who should be calling in the show, but I haven't heard from him. We'll try to get him on there. Ahmad Hawkins with a great catch from Aaron Brooks to put the Cavaliers ahead to stay. Talk about some of the great players in the rivalry that you either have experienced or had a chance to talk with, Shawn.
It's funny, man. I did an interview earlier today with Jerry Ratcliffe at
Excellent.
JerryRatcliffe.com. And we talked about, he asked me about John Ford. And, John Ford was a great football player at Virginia, but probably had one of the biggest plays in this rivalry.
84.
I was 84. I was at the game.
No kidding.
I was at the game as a guest of the Hokies because, my cousin Jesse Penn, who played bookend with Bruce Smith, I used to go to all the Jesse's games, and everyone thought I was going to be a Hokie because it was so close by and I spent so much time there. But John Ford, 4th and 1, Don Mikowski comes in for a struggling Kevin Ferguson, throws 4th and 1. They go play action, and John Ford makes the catch it's posterized. There's a poster that was made of John Ford catching that ball on the fingertips. And it changed the complexion of the game, and Virginia went on to win that game in 1984 and eventually go to their first bowl game, the Peach Bowl. But, guys like John Ford, who was, dominant, Chris Slade, Ray Savage, a lot of great players in this football game, man. I can remember, and Tony probably was part of this, where in 1987, we actually played the game early in the season. And 88 was early in the season. And there was a bench clearing brawl, and I think that may have been Beamer's.
No, that's 89.
That was 89. I was at that game. That was the game me and my mom was at.
Bench clearing brawl. Hey, I just wanted to get out the way because, it's my boys. I'm sure the game was intense. I had a couple boys on the other sideline that I played against in high school, the Bobby Martins of the world. So I just remember that bench clearing brawl. We dominated the game, but the Hokies made a little comeback at the end, but we won it.
Hey, Shawn, now you need to stop that. We came back and put the fear of God in y'all. We came back in that game.
You better look at the scores.
It was 32-25. And I remember the score because y'all kept scoring, and then all of a sudden we said, forget that.
Hey, man, what's the point about y'all kept scoring?
Y'all kept scoring. It wasn't nothing we could do. But then we started putting pressure up on you. And we started getting that pressure up on you with that old Y tackle 6 now. Let's go.
That's the one thing I remember about Virginia Tech, boy. They were going to bring a lot of pressure on defense.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
We brought that pressure, baby. I remember that game.
They called it back then. They called it a raggedy wide tackle 6. I hate it. Really, what it was a bare defense.
Yep.
What you see today in today's game.
It's college football. All football is a copycat league or a copycat sport. But you see what works, and you just go with it, and then you develop it and innovate it. Now, you ran offenses at Virginia. You ran so many different offenses. That was Gary Tranquill's multiple offense. We could go to an option look or RPO. Shawn could jerk the ball out from Derwin Griggs and then throw over the top to Big Herm. Derwin is one of my boys from high school. Rival. He went to Bishop McNamara. I went to St. John's. So I've known Derwin and Tom Burns since, I don't know, like 8th or 9th grade. I've known them boys forever. So I was glad to have them in Virginia. But, we always used to give Derwin a hard time about driving that Hyundai. That red Hyundai he had. Remember that?
Yeah, one of the first ones.
Yeah, that joker had the Hyundai Excel, man. Back around man, we had so much fun watching you guys on the field. These Virginia Tech games. Basically, that's how me and Tony ended up starting to hang out. He's a Virginia Tech guy, I'm a Virginia guy. That's why we wanted to bring this to you guys here on Facebook Live and just keep it kind of fresh. Shawn, tell us more about Coach Welsh, and we'll have Tony tell us more about Coach Beamer.
Coach Welsh, one of the greatest preparation coaches of all time. One of the things he did for me that I think kind of changed the way I perceived the game and learned the game was he brought in Gary Trample, who was in 1986. Gary Trample was the head coach at Naval Academy. Naval Academy beat us in '86.
They did.
I'll never forget that. They beat us in 1986, led by Napoleon McCollum.
Yeah.
And in '87, they fired Gary after that year, and Coach Welsh brought Gary in as offensive coordinator. One of the greatest things ever happened to me because he's one of the best football minds I've ever been around. But really, Coach Tramp came in with a mindset is, hey man, we got a lot of offensive weapons here, so we gonna go 3 wides, we gonna go 4 wides, we gonna go 2 tights, we gonna go wishbone. I mean, we had it all, and that's why I think it was hard to really prepare for us because there's so many weapons on offense, and you had a good offensive line.
Well, it didn't hurt that we had the X's and O's and some of the Jimmies and Joes. You know what I'm saying, right? We had some high steppers. I mean, in addition to you and Herman. We had, and come on, TK, Terry Kirby, come on. I mean, we could pound it.
Nicky Fisher.
Yeah, we could pound it. Yep. Nicky Fisher with the shake and bake. I mean, we had a lot of different things that we could throw at a defense. But what a great foil to a program by Frank Beamer, who prided himself on carrying a great defense and the special teams. Tony, tell us about some of that.
Well, I thought our defense was good until we faced Shawn. hey, Shawn. I remember. Listen, you've only played in 3 Virginia Tech UVA games. You're 3-0. You got the best record in the history of UVA starting quarterback. I think Aaron Brooks is second at 2-0. You won 14-13, 16-10, and 32-25.
That's right.
And most people didn't realize that. But I'm going to talk about 1990. When y'all came up in there, I was mad y'all lost to Maryland and Georgia Tech because we waited all year for that game. And
y'all wanted to play the number 1 team in the country.
We wanted to play the number 1 team in the country. And I played a whole half with a separated shoulder. My shoulder still separated from that game. Because I was going to tote that rock till I died that night. And I'm telling you right now, it was my idea to paint those shoes black and put on that maroon on maroon. It was no way y'all was getting out of there alive that night. They were going to have to call the National Guard to get y'all up out of that joint.
I got one thing to say about that game. That game really had no significance to us since we were already going. We had accepted the Sugar Bowl before the game.
Oh, easily.
Really, yeah, really, we didn't really care. We were just trying to get out of that cold weather in Blacksburg because it was freezing up there.
Yeah,
sure enough, it is.
It was freezing.
It ain't no fun to play there.
And and me, I'm standing on the sideline with my winter coat on and my brim. I just want to get out of there.
Hey, listen, make that business decision.
Hey, I wish they hadn't given it to y'all because I wanted it no matter what because we waited all year. But y'all got us back the next year when you were gone. They beat us 38-0. But
that was Matt Blunden.
We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, they got up in you.
We're not going to talk about that. But Shawn, we ain't going to hold you too long, man.
We appreciate you, Shawn.
We appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate you guys having me on. I'm excited. Y'all got me hyped about Saturday night now. I'm gonna be.
Please do. Oh, definitely. I might just go live during the game.
This has to be the latest time in the year for this game to be
played. It is.
It's got to be.
Yeah, let's hope this never happened again.
Yeah, we don't want that. I'd like to get it back to the normal, where it's, right around Thanksgiving, because I think that's what this game is about. It is literally about family. It's, the college kids trying to get back home to their folks, but, you get back, you want to talk about that game, or you're at home and you're talking about, when we get back, they're going to be playing that UVA Virginia Tech game, or it's going to get played during the Thanksgiving break. So, hey, Shawn, thank you.
Appreciate you, brother.
Everybody, thanks, Shawn Moore, UVA, All-ACC quarterback, 4th in the Heisman. Herman Moore came in 6th. We had a pretty good offense that year.
Yes, you did.
Thanks, Shawn.
You guys have me on, man. No doubt.
Appreciate you, brother.
Later.
All right. So, we've done talk to the man. Let's talk about this matchup coming up. UVA going into this game 5-4. They've won 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech at 4-6. Virginia Tech could potentially spoil Virginia's chance to go to a bowl. Virginia goes 6-4. They're more than likely going to get a bowl bid. We're hoping. Yeah. What do you think about the game? How do you think it's going to shape up?
Well, I think, man, this one is tough.
It's a tough one to read. I agree.
It's a tough one to read because I don't know who's playing. The COVID, UVA.
Charles Snowden is not going to play. He injured his ankle. He's out for the season. UVA's All-ACC outside linebacker, general playmaker. This guy is what they would call in the business rangy. Offense day, always around the quarterback.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Always around the court, always around the football. Without him being in the game, UVA has got some injuries on every level. Injuries on the defensive line. We've got a guy that's transferring back to his hometown school. Then we go forward. We've got linebackers that are out. I mentioned Snowden. And we have a couple of defensive backs that are out. So we're looking at a tough situation here from a defensive standpoint. So tell me about the Hokie side of the ball. What are the Hokies going to try to do on offense? I think they're going to have to run the football.
They're going to have to run the football against them, man. It's going to be difficult. Because Virginia Tech this year has been unpredictable. They played well against Clemson. They had Miami beat. But you lose at home to Liberty.
Liberty's decent.
Yeah, but Liberty ain't ACC decent. I ain't gonna keep giving them. Man, forget that. You ain't supposed to lose no Liberty.
So Liberty was decent this year. If I was Virginia, I don't want to play them.
Man, forget that. You the dogs in the school, in the state of Virginia. Y'all ain't supposed to be losing no daggone Liberty. I don't want to hear that stuff. Don't you ever lose the Liberty again.
Gut reaction.
You better get this UVA game this week, because if you don't, there's going to be some furniture moving up out of somebody's office. Somebody getting fired after this weekend if y'all lose to them fools.
Gut reaction, Tony. Who do you have in this game?
I got the Hokies.
You'll take the Hokies?
I'll take the Hokies.
I'll take Virginia by 3. I'll take Virginia by 3.
I got the Hokies in a blowout.
Hokies in a blowout? Wow.
The blowout. I got the Hokies in a blowout. We got to make a statement because we ain't going no bowl. And we got to keep them from bowl. Hey, what they say, misery loves company. And that's what we're going to do.
You're trying to keep us home for the holidays, huh?
Home for the holidays.
That's cold-blooded, Tony.
That's indeed.
We're supposed to be brethren in this, man.
Dog,
you're supposed to be trying to help out your fellow
man. You heard him 30 years ago, when you come to Blacksburg, you better bring it. Don't be giving me no excuses like Shawn Moore just gave me. Talking about they had the Sugar Bowl wrapped up.
We did.
You got to be playing for us right here. I don't give about no bowl game. You better come and play. I don't want to hear that garbage.
UVA is the only team to drop out of the AP poll before the bowls, lose the bowl game, and then get back in the polls. They finished 25th that year, lost to Tennessee in the Sugar Bowl, 23-22.
They should have won that game.
Should have won that game. Shawn Moore came back and played on a broken thumb, reconstructed thumb, and he ain't played too bad for a dude with a busted thumb.
They should have won that game.
They should have won that game. All good. Basically, with that situation, when you look at what's going on right now in college football, and let's bring in another point on college football. Recent news: Ohio State has been granted a waiver and will now be allowed to play in the Big Ten championship game, which means they're going to leapfrog the University of Indiana, who should have been there, and playing Northwestern.
Big Ten, you move the goalpost. I'm not messing with y'all. Y'all just want Ohio State in the championship. Well, even though they do deserve it. They do deserve it. Them boys can play. Y'all got some dogs over there. But don't move the goalposts. Fellas, just say what you wanted to say. Put them in there. Had Maryland had enough games, they would have probably been in there. But you know what? Ohio State, Michigan, you pull a what's that? Floyd Mayweather. You ducked them. Y'all didn't want that smoke. Y'all didn't want it. Michigan, I ain't messing with y'all no more. Until y'all get back and beat them, y'all get the Jesse Award.
Well, I would say this. Looking at what happened, this was a money decision that was made by the Big Ten. To get a team into the college football playoff, that gives the conference a $6 million payday, minimum. Northwestern and Indiana playing for the Big Ten championship, no matter who wins, they're not getting in. Okay? This was the only chance that the Big had, and I knew that the Big was not going to leave this money sitting on the table.
I can't blame them, dog. I can't blame them. But you did move the goalposts.
They moved the goalposts and screwed Indiana. Indiana has a good team this year. This was one of the best.
But they don't have their quarterback.
They don't have a
quarterback. Their quarterback is gone.
Their quarterback
so
is gone.
If they had their quarterback, then they would have a real gripe. But they got that second, third.
They still deserve to play against Northwestern.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a gift wrap chance for them to win the Big Ten championship. And I see what the deal is. A lot of programs right now, if there's a chance for them to, quote unquote, make some money on something, they're going to do it. And at this point, don't ever talk to me about student athletes and caring about student athletes. I do want to get into some college basketball stuff on that exact tip, but I'm not going to. We shouldn't be having
the Doc.
We're going to Doc Walker right now. Rick Doc Walker. We're trying to get him on the line here. One of my favorite guys in the industry.
Hey, Doc, you on live, baby, with Dave and Tony at the TD Report. Tell everybody hello.
What up?
Hey, Doc, this is Dave here. Thanks for coming on the show. Really appreciate you. Hey, man, you're a big voice in DC area radio, man. For us young guys getting in this business a little bit, tell us about becoming a voice and developing your brand, because you definitely have a brand.
Well, first of all, you got to decide how you're going to feed yourself, and that's mandatory. And to make sure you can constantly be popular at Giant Safeway, you got to have skills, and you got to develop the skills. And all athletes are in a short-term environment. They play a game for maybe 10, maybe 11, maybe 15 years of their life. Most by 30 are done with the athletic side of it. And you're 30 years old, 28 years old, and you still have to eat. See, for me, it's always been important to know where you want to go, because you can't hang on to sports. That's over. And a lot of guys never get over it, and it impedes their ability to compete in the marketplace, man. This is America. There are people that come here and don't even speak the language, and end up running businesses and building empires. So to be in this country and understand the language and be taught in our school system, it's just laziness. If you don't perfect something that can keep you in the game, or you're naive, can't do what you want to do, you got to take on the gifts you've been given and expand on those things, and then be competitive as hell. And if you do that, then you got a chance to be in the marketplace.
Love it. That's what we're building on, Doc. We really appreciate you giving us that. I know you're getting ready to go on. I guess you're in pregame right now. Can you give us, our WFT fans, can you give us a little bit on the San Fran game coming up? Big win, obviously, against the Steelers, riding a little bit high. I like this game for the WFT.
Yeah, the Niners are dangerous because Shanahan is a master at running the football. And if they can establish a run, no matter who they have, then it expands their play-action game. They're great at tight end. They're great at slot. They've got excellent talent. So we finally beat a worthy opponent, and we beat them on the road and beat them convincingly. So this is the biggest win, in my opinion, in years here with this program. Now we're going to find out how we handle a little bit of success. 3-game win streak. Are they patting themselves on the back, or are they realizing the mistakes they made in Pittsburgh that denied them from blowing them out?
because we squandered opportunities. We didn't start off well at all.
No.
They showed a lot of courage and a lot of heart. But this is December. No excuses. So the teams that are going to be in the playoffs play their best. What the Giants did up in Seattle, then we matched it in Pittsburgh. Now, to beat the Niners on the road would be supreme. It really would. Buffalo went down there and tapped their tail.
Sure did.
They're an excellent team. So I think we have that potential, but are we going to give up big plays, which has been our nemesis? Are we going to have penalties? We help opponents beat us. We gave the Giants 2 games.
Gave it to them.
That's on us. And so if we can, and I suspect they'll do this, but until I see it done, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do, but I do know this: if Alex Smith continues to improve as he's doing, they're going to be tough to beat.
He's definitely gotten his footing back. His timing looks good, and he did make some great throws against Pittsburgh. There's quite a few throws that looked really good to me. Just in general, he knows where guys are supposed to be. He's putting the ball where he needs to, and the guys are making plays.
Well, Doc, I thank you, brother. I know you're getting ready for your game. Appreciate you coming on with us. And good luck. I'm having a tough year. I'm a Cowboy fan, so we ain't gonna talk about that. We'll talk about that over a cigar.
We're gonna talk about it because y'all are terrible. and you're bad in every area. You got the best back in football, and you won't give him the ball. I mean,
well, if they do, he fumbles, Doc.
Well, I'm telling you, you've got these receivers, you got everything, but it shows you that even if you have talent, if the talent doesn't work and play together, you can't win.
Yep, no heart.
You hired two guys, a head coach and a defensive coordinator, that are just not up to it.
Okay.
It's so clear that Dak was playing his tail off, and you still were losing. You were 8-8 a year ago. The reality of the Dallas Cowboys is that the biggest mystery to me in sports as to why they have such a draw and they hardly ever do anything significant, ever. They're always expected to do something, and they never do it. And yet, they finally got bumped off a primetime game, which was amazing to me that they got bumped. This is the decline and the demise of this team if Jerry Jones doesn't take action. I hope he stays the same. I love it. I think it's fantastic. But I like to beat them at the best. Like, I don't want them hurt. They've had a lot of injuries. We've had a ton of injuries. We had years here, we were playing guys that just showed up a day before the game. The Seattle victory a couple of years ago was the most amazing thing I've ever witnessed in my life. How we beat Seattle in Seattle.
Yep.
With guys, 2 of them on the offensive line that played. I just met them the day before the game.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And they won the game.
Yep.
So this is a crazy league, and then we got COVID-19, which is on. I don't even have an idea if there will be playoffs. There's nothing guaranteed right now. Most teams have done a great job with the protocol. A couple teams have been stupid. Baltimore, Titans, and they've been busted. All it takes is one selfish person.
That's all it takes.
This thing. Yeah, and college, I expect that. I never thought college would work.
Yep.
There's too many kids. You can't get them kids. They're going to go out and do a keg. They're going to go out. You can't stop the 19-year-olds messing around. But I want Dallas to be competitive because it's no fun if they're not good.
Okay.
I don't want to beat them down. I want to beat them at their best because they have sustained success.
Okay.
They get credit for things they haven't done. They haven't been good. I mean, when they won it with Jimmy, they was monsters. But that is so long ago. But yet, they're still the #1 draw in sports. And that blows my mind.
Yep. Hey, Doc, that's because that's what you call a brand, baby. It's the #1 brand in the world.
Yeah, but it's fake because they haven't had a significant victory in 25 years.
Whoa.
Dallas?
25 years. They've done anything in 25 years.
Yeah.
It's the most phenomenal thing in my sports lifetime.
I think...
As to why these guys are rated, and the Cume is real.
Mm-hmm.
They throw off better than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But they never hardly win a big game.
Yeah.
And yet, America's team, it shows you how stupid America is.
Ouch.
Hey,
Doc, we know you got to get off.
We got to get you off with that, because you can't be coming up in here dogging the Cowboys like that.
Doc said I ain't fooling with you, Tony.
Man, I'm just telling the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth will help me God.
Thank you, Doc.
Call the street. Yeah.
All right, Doc, have a great show tonight. We appreciate
All
you.
right, man.
Appreciate you, brother. We're going to get a stick.
Anytime.
All right, baby.
Peace.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Doc Walker, ladies and gentlemen, Super Bowl champion with the Redskins, and great radio voice here in the D.C. metro area for many years now. Definitely the thing I like about Doc is Doc is not going to sugarcoat nothing. As he says, if you can't bust a grape out there on the field,
Right.
and right now Dallas isn't hitting it hard. They ain't hitting it. They ain't hitting it right. Okay.
They're not hitting it hard, man.
WFT, on the other hand, be honest with you, WFT is doing their job. They're doing their
Yes,
portions. Now, I wasn't expecting them to be 7-3 this year. Honestly, I did expect the WFT to be around 5-5. Where they're sitting right now, I'm not too far off. I figured they would be an up and down team all year. It looks like they're peaking at the right time. If they can get this game against San Francisco, like Doc said, that's 4 games in a row. I don't care what league you play in. You win 4 in a row in football, you're a team I got to scheme for the next week. I ain't fooling with. Hey, these guys have won 4 in a row. I don't care if they're terrible or not. They're doing their job.
Playoffs.
They get on blocks. They tackle. They hit. And you always have to know what's going on with that front seven, because they can do some things with Sweat, with them young dogs. With Sweat Chase Young, they're getting after quarterbacks. And you realize there was a game. I think did they record a sack the week before? I don't think so. They just stayed in their lanes, did what they needed to do in the front seven, and it was to keep those gaps all filled up and do your job.
Hey, like I said, that defensive line reminds me of the Cowboys from the 90s. And those boys on the, Doc keeps it real. That's why I call him. He know we go at it all the time. He right. The Cowboys are terrible. And they really hadn't done anything. 25 years. They haven't done anything since we had VCRs. And now we almost in, we live TV from a computer.
We have a couple of guys here that were asking which cigar is going on tonight. This is the Perdomo Champagne right here, Anniversario. Definitely a quality stick. Definitely you want to enjoy this with your brown liquor. But that's what I'm smoking in case, we had a couple of people ask on the chat line real quick.
Oh, okay.
Tony, let's talk about brown liquor for just a second. I had some Bushmills the other day that was delicious. It was absolutely incredible. I didn't have a stick at the time. I wish I had. A friend of mine came over, brought me a little Bushmills over there. That's some good stuff right there.
Hey, man, you got me with all that.
To take the chill off. It was a cold day.
I have no. Hey, all I do is drink my port.
Oh, Tony's really into port. That's good stuff right there. I like port after a meal though, Tony. That's what I like.
Hey, I had a heart attack, so this red wine is good for your heart, folks.
Oh, well, there it is. Port, good for your heart. Now, back to Doc's point about the WFT. He thinks San Francisco's dangerous.
They are pretty dangerous. Hold on, Cody. They are pretty dangerous. We're gonna get Cody on here in a second, but hey, because of the running game, I think the Washington football team is hard when the team runs the ball against them. But I don't think Mullins, and the game is being played in Arizona.
Yes,
I don't think Mullins can beat the WFT. They better hope they got Garofalo and Kittle. Because if they don't have those two, WFT going to blow them out.
Okay.
They'll blow them up.
Let's go to the Bennett breakdown. We've got Cody Bennett on the
breakdown.
line.
What's up, Cody?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing tonight?
Doing great now that you're here, brother. We got a lot of people wanting to set their lineups. You got the call sheet, so you know which order we're going to go in. But why don't you start and give us what you've got as far as setting lineups as playoffs start for fantasy leagues all over the country.
Yeah, absolutely. First thing, for the game tonight, I don't have too much on the slate other than your given starters, guys that you're going to want to keep in regardless, like your Cam Newtons, and players that are going to get those looks. I would like to mention James White. He's a guy that didn't do too much last week, but he's one of these guys that really gets those looks when they play from behind. And I think that they're going to have a great game on their hands. Mm-hmm. And, that passing down work for those running backs is good. So if you need a running back in a pinch, need somebody in your flex option, James White is a good start for tonight. I think he'll get a decent amount of points and hopefully get one into the end zone.
Okay. Dallas, Cincinnati, moving down the Sunday slate. Anybody in there worth picking up?
What I did here is I kind of just spotlighted some of the guys that are I think, going to give some trouble with the injuries that they have going on this week. There's been a lot of news coming out of a couple different places. I mean, like, for example, we have Carolina. It's a different game than what you're mentioning, but Carolina, we were expecting to see Christian McCaffrey back, someone who's been out for quite some time, who's one of those workhorse backs that really carries people through playoffs and fantasy for years since he's been in the league. And he was expected to be back, but he tweaked his quad last week. Uh-oh. It was looking a little bit better coming into this week, but he tweaked it again yesterday. And Coach Rule down there is not expecting him to play. So, if available, if people messed up, go out there and grab Mike Davis. I know he was dropped in a lot of leagues because the expectation of CMC coming back into the fold. Mm-hmm. Mike Davis is the guy you want. He's going to get a lot of touches. He's been, he's produced with Christian McCaffrey being out. If you're in a deep league, you can look towards Rodney Smith. He's a guy that came in last week. He had 7 rushes. He had 2 targets. So he will get a little bit of work. But Davis is definitely the guy you want in that backfield for this week to help you with that playoff push.
Where can I pick up points? Where can I pick up points in the Washington-San Francisco game?
Washington-San Francisco. Now, Gibson obviously is a big blow to losing that backfield. We saw it early in the first half, of last week when he left early in that game. All they really had to do was shut down number 17, Terry McLaurin, and they struggled through that first half. Now in the second half, they came out and they fixed it, and what they did is they used J.D. McKissick in that passing down work. That's a big guy you want to look out for with Gibson out. He's going to get a hell of a lot of touches this week. J.D. McKissick is a good one to pick up if available. I know he's in a lot of leagues, so you might need to look elsewhere for maybe Peyton Barber. He's going to get a lot of the third down work. He's going to get all of the goal line work because he's a big body. But the only thing with that is, and you got to be careful, is that they end up playing from behind because this is going to be a team that I believe will put up some numbers. So if they end up playing from behind, Peyton Barber could be, scripted out of that game completely. Honorable mention out of there, Javon Leak is an interesting name, and I'm not too sure how they'll use him, but I do know they protected him off the practice squad and called him up this week because they only have McKissick and Peyton. So they want to carry that third back in there. He's a quick guy. He brings a lot of speed to the table, so I think he could spell in and take some touches away from JD. But I don't think too much, so he's more of a deeper league option if you're really in a pinch and need somebody bad. But that's where I'd look there. Obviously, you got your Terry McLaurin. He's going to go off. I think a big day for him. And then Alex Smith, if you're in a pinch for a quarterback, this guy's been lighting it up.
Would you? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cody.
No problem, man. I wanted to spotlight the tight end position in Washington because they've been kind of weak there up until the past couple weeks. Logan Thomas came into that game last week with, I believe, like 7 receptions or something on the year, which is very small, but he actually set a career high with 9 receptions. He had 9 targets last week. He caught all 9 of them for 98 yards and a touchdown. So he's definitely building some rapport there with Alex Smith. He's the #1 tight end waiver ad of this week. He's not owned in many leagues. If he's still available, definitely go out there and grab him and look for him to help you get that push through the playoffs out of Washington.
Something that I mentioned to Tony earlier, I'm pretty sure if you were following the show, I threw in New Orleans at Philadelphia. New Orleans, #1 defense in the league. Would you pick them up against Philly?
I think I would. The only
Rookie quarterback?
I was going to say the only thing that kind of scares me with that is the question mark there with Hurts. I actually have a lot of faith in that kid. I think he's going to come out and he's going to ball hard. He looked great from the eye test, just watching him when he came in for Wentz last week. He had a phenomenal, which I thought was a phenomenal throw on the run for the touchdown. It looked good. He got out of the pocket. He made space. He used his legs a lot in those last couple minutes of the game as well. So that's kind of a question mark to me. Yes, they're ranked up there, but they can be scored on. The only thing that I think they're very strong at is rushing. I want to say they haven't allowed like a 100-yard rusher, and I mean, up until maybe last season, if not the season before, it's been a long time since they've allowed a 100-yard rusher. And I don't see Miles Sanders or anyone else back there doing too much on them. But Jalen Hurts is a big question mark. So if he gets going with his legs and his arm to spread that field a little bit too, you know, they could be a risky play on defense.
Hey, Cody, what about the Baltimore-Cleveland game?
Monday night.
Baltimore-Cleveland. That's going to be a good one. I actually personally have Baker Mayfield starting. I think Baker, for the remainder of this year and into these fantasy playoffs and championships, is going to be a great option. I know they got some tough cornerbacks out there, some secondaries, nothing to mess around with in Baltimore, but Baker looked prime last week. And I believe he's going to carry that on for these next couple weeks here. So I would definitely plug him in any lineup that you can is available on the wire.
Okay.
All right.
Any other games you want to pull in? Maybe the ones that I didn't?
I want to mention just a couple other guys. Mike Evans, we got some reports this week of him dealing with this hamstring injury. That's an injury that always scares me. They linger, and you're not too sure how they'll perform. Now, he was questionable all the way up till game day, I believe, in week 11. I could be wrong on that week, but he ended up starting. He got a touchdown and I believe 50 yards on a hamstring. So it's one of those things where it's hit or miss. If he does sit out, keep an eye on that final injury report. You definitely want to grab Antonio Brown. He's available in about 65% of leagues. If you're in a deep league, you can look at Scotty Miller. He's owned in only 5% of league. He's on slate, for this week.
Maybe he had a bad hamburger or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something took him out for a couple of days, man. I think they had a couple other guys with the same illness, so something was moving around.
Okay.
But he was good back in there today. Another guy I want to mention who he hurt a lot of people last week, so I know it's going to be hard for somebody to put him back in their lineup. But if Josh Jacobs does not go this week, Devontae Booker, I think, will put up some numbers. He's playing against Indy. They're 13th against the run. So it's not an easy matchup to say the least, but I do think he'll get in the end zone if Jacobs doesn't play. Good news on that, Jacobs did return to practice today, but he was very, very limited. So just keep an eye again on those injury reports to see if anything changes. If Jacobs logs a full practice tomorrow, obviously Booker's out of the fold.
Cody, how are you doing in your playoffs? You started last week, or playoffs are this week for you?
Playoffs are this week. So
okay.
I have 6 leagues that I'm in that playoffs start this week. And one of my other leagues, playoffs will start next week. So I'm in the last week of the season in that last league.
So you've got all your prep done and everything. So you're just basically watching injury reports right now before setting that final lineup in your leagues.
Absolutely, man. That's the biggest thing with fantasy is keeping an eye on these injuries, especially when you're dealing with a season like this and these COVID situations where these guys can test and be out at the last second. I mean, you look at Des Bryant; he was on the field, during that game.
Yeah.
He was there warming up.
He didn't want that smoke. Cody, he didn't want that smoke from them Cowboys. They was going to smoke his butt.
I think he did. He actually tweeted out immediately after getting that positive test that he was going to quit the season because he couldn't play that game. I really think he wanted that revenge game against Dallas. I really think he did. Well,
guess what? He didn't. Hey, Cody, listen, man, we're going to have to let you go, but I want to give you props for the WFT. I call them the WTF. But
no, they're looking good.
Whatever. Your boys did well. I got to give props to the WFT. Y'all looking good. And I'm going to give y'all little propers. But the rivalry is on now, baby.
Absolutely. It's on. It's back on. We took you guys twice this year. We're going to do it again next year.
Uh-oh.
So I hope you're ready for those tears.
Hey, you know what they say, Cody? Even the sun shines on the dog's ass someday.
Oh, wait a minute.
Man, it did twice this year, but you know what I'm talking about. It's gonna be back, baby. Don't y'all Redskin fans, and I'm going to call you Redskin. Your mama named you Redskin, I'm going to call you Redskin. Y'all ass in trouble next year. Don't y'all ain't get away with this.
That's the Bennett breakdown. Thank you, Cody.
All right, brother.
Appreciate you.
Later.
Hey, Cody is a wild dude, but you know what? He's right. You guys with your fantasy teams, get your lineups together, watch those injury reports, go out there and win your league. Definitely come back on this show, this channel, for the Bennett breakdown. Get your leagues right, get your playoffs set, and win your leagues. Maybe make you a few bucks, buy you some cigars or some nice fine port, like Tony has right here.
Hey.
Port is expensive.
That good
Port is not cheap. The good stuff.
Hey, I'm ghetto. I got it in the IHOP cup.
Oh, wow.
Hey.
Yeah, that's right. He's got hot cup. I'm surprised you don't have it in the WWF commemorative Slurpee cup.
Hey, man, I got it in IHOP
It's
cup.
like the old school.
This IHOP cup is from like 1991.
91. Hey, man, I still got some of those McDonald's jelly jars. Remember those? The McDonald's glasses you used to get at McDonald's? I got the ones. I still got Grimace.
What's in the car?
You still got those?
Yeah, I got
Oh,
them.
yeah, I had Grimace. I had Ronald. You know, I mean, hey, listen, whatever you're doing with your brown liquor, whatever you drink it out of, that's your business. But be honest with you, let's just don't drink and drive, okay, folks? Now, we're heading to the hour mark. We're about to go to the game. It's going to start at 8:20, so we're about 8:15 right now. What I want to do is just get some parting shots from Tony. Let's talk about. Let's get your pick for your Jesse James. Go ahead, Tony. Keep going. Just keep going. You're good.
They say you having what? Playing the video?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Did our video go up?
Our video went out. We are out.
We are out. Oh, let's see if we can get back in.
Let me try. I'll just go out and go right back in.